Good morning, good morning. This should be a fun one. We're going to do a comparison. We're doing two timing belts on two separate vehicles today. We're doing a timing belt on a Honda Pilot, which is a V6, and we're doing a timing belt on a Volvo C70, which is a 5-cylinder turbo. We're going to do them side by side, show you the differences, and see which one is more easier, which one is more complicated. Let's start with the Honda. Okay, so here's the Honda. We're going to start by getting our drive belt off. We may have to move AC lines. I think we got to take our power steering pump out. And of course, we have a motor mount down here. Let's start with that. Okay, here's the Volvo. We're going to move the coolant reservoir, and we have a motor mount here as well. Okay, the Honda's not looking that bad. We're going to remove this bolt to take the tensioner out. We got the drive belt off. We took the center bolt for the crank out, and the covers are right there. Now, in the ease of taking the timing covers off, I'm going to go with the Volvo. We had to remove the power steering pump, and plus we had a bunch of bolts for the cover. Bottom, we got the timing cover off, just multiple bolts to take the cover off. Volvo's easier to take timing cover off. Definitely easier to take the timing covers off on the Volvo. We got a couple screws for this cover here. These just kind of snap in, slide down, and then one screw right there, and this cover pops off. So what we found out is easier to remove the timing covers on the Volvo opposed to the Honda. Come back for part two, the timing marks. Okay, here go part two of the timing belt replacements for the Honda and the Volvo. Let me show you the timing marks on the Volvo first. Now here are the timing marks on the cams of the Volvo. I marked them in yellow. One timing mark there lines up with that notch on the cover. And another one back there, I'm gonna take the cover off and show you. If you come down here to the crank, I marked the crank with yellow paint with that boss there, and it goes back with that boss there, so we know we lined up. Okay, just to show you with the cover off, the timing mark lines up with that slot and lines up with that slot on the Volvo. Okay, now the timing marks on the Honda, we have it marked. A little harder to see, but we go here and tie a little notch right there. And then if you come down here, kind of the same thing. We mark the yellow, it goes to that notch right there. If you come down on the crank, let me just show you real fast. Right here on the crank, we have a little arrow here, and it lines up with that arrow there. See them two? And we just mark that for our own reference. Now here's the Honda. We have our timing belt and tensioner removed. We're going to be replacing this idler pulley here, this idler pulley here. We're also going to be doing the water pump. In the Honda, you definitely have more room to work and access components. That's a good thing. The Volvo is way tighter to work on. Idler here, water pump here. Let's get it removed and I'm gonna show you. Okay, here go part three, Honda and Volvo timing belt jobs. Okay, last and final, tensioner on. Pulleys are on, water pump is on. We're about to slide the belt on. Plenty of room to work on the Honda. Okay, over to the Volvo. We got our belt on, but you can see how we don't have a whole lot of room to work over here. The Honda is definitely easier when it comes to installing the belt and installing the components. Let's get our tensioners tight. Another quick look at the Volvo from the bottom. Tight, everything's on though. Okay, quick look at the Honda from the bottom. Okay, just got a quick look at the Honda from the top. Now I'm gonna start reassembling. Jobs are done. All right, and just like that, we're back together and running on the Honda. Everything is good, perfect. Okay, over to the Volvo, we have our engine mount back in. We're gonna fill it with coolant, and let me show you how we're gonna do both cars. So on the Volvo, how we bleed the cooling system, we use an air lift. You can see we're holding vacuum. We have the coolant here. We open up this nozzle, and it's gonna suck the coolant into the vehicle. The Honda is old school. We use this here. The antifreeze is above the engine, and this is how we bleed it. So what I found, Volvo timing covers are easier to come off. Honda timing parts are easier to put on. So we're even. Thanks for watching.